Hey, sweetie, this is Michaela. Today I'll continue telling you the story of Mia's family. I'll keep updating it for you. Remember to check in every day, okay? Chapter 7: New Clues and Preparations. After successfully obtaining the artifact from the Egyptian pyramid, Mia's family briefly indulged in joy and relaxation. However, they were well aware that the task of finding the remaining artifacts was still arduous. One afternoon, sunlight filtered through the window and fell on the table piled up with materials. Mia was focusedly organizing the various materials brought back from the pyramid when her eyes were suddenly drawn to a fragment of an ancient map. The map was faintly marked with some strange symbols. These symbols were winding and curving, as if they had a life of their own, telling secrets yet to be discovered. Next to the symbols, there was an outline of what seemed to be a building. Although the lines were simple, it exuded a mysterious vibe. Mia quickly called Martha and Jack over. The family gathered around the table and began to study the fragment. Martha took out the high-tech analysis device she brought from the future and placed the fragment on the instrument for scanning. As the instrument emitted a soft hum, various data flashed rapidly on the screen. After a series of complex analyses, they speculated that the next artifact might be related to the Parthenon in ancient Greece. The Parthenon was built between 447 and 432 BC, during the most glorious period of ancient Greek civilization. At that time, the ancient Greeks, filled with reverence and love for the goddess Athena, spared no effort in constructing this magnificent temple. It stood at the highest point of the Acropolis of Athens, representing the pinnacle of ancient Greek architectural art. The temple was renowned worldwide for its perfect proportions, exquisite carving techniques, and unique columnar structure. In the beliefs of the ancient Greeks, Athena was the goddess of wisdom, war, and handicrafts. She guarded the city of Athens and blessed the ancient Greek people. The Parthenon was not just a building, it was a symbol of the spiritual beliefs of the ancient Greeks, and surely harbored many mysterious powers. The family immediately immersed themselves in the preparations for traveling to ancient Greece. Jack buried himself in the study, poring over a vast amount of historical materials about the Parthenon. He carefully studied every ancient book, leaving no detail overlooked, from the temple's construction process, sacrificial ceremonies, to the social culture and religious beliefs of that time. He knew well that the more he understood, the better he could handle various unknown dangers during the adventure. Martha was bustling about in the basement. She modified their equipment once again, using future technology to prepare for all kinds of unknown situations in ancient Greece. She painstakingly made protective clothing for everyone that could resist the flame attacks in ancient Greece. This protective clothing was made of special materials. It was not only lightweight and comfortable, but could also rapidly form a heat-insulating barrier in high-temperature environments. She also improved the communication devices to ensure that even in an era without modern communication technology, their family could maintain smooth communication. The communication devices were designed as small pendants that could be hung on the body and would not easily fall off even during intense adventures. Mia still spent time with Sammy and Fiona. She was pleasantly surprised to find that her ability to communicate with animals seemed to have become more proficient. She gently called to the little bird in the yard, and the bird flew over merrily and landed on her finger. Through communicating with the bird, she learned many interesting things about the surrounding environment, such as which tree hid the squirrel's home and which flower bed had the nectar that bees liked the most. Mia thought that perhaps during the upcoming adventure, animal friends could offer her more help. She started to try to expand the scope of her communication with animals. not just limited to common small animals, but also attempting to communicate with passing butterflies and crawling ants to obtain more information from them. Meanwhile, although Jack's injured eye still stung from time to time, he noticed that his vision seemed to have undergone some subtle changes. Sometimes, he could vaguely see through some objects to what was behind them. For example, he could see the outline of a book in the drawer or the direction of the water pipes behind the wall. He was both surprised and puzzled, but he didn't tell his family. Instead, he planned to figure it out on his own first. He secretly conducted some simple tests in his room, trying to master this newly emerged ability and see how much it might be put to use. On the night before their departure, the family sat around the warm dining table, confirming their itinerary and plans once again. The table was filled with exquisite dishes, but everyone's mind was not on the delicacies. Martha looked at everyone, her eyes filled with determination and worry. Ancient Greece is a place full of mystery and danger. We must be extremely careful. The culture and customs there are completely different from our era. One wrong step, and we could be in trouble. Jack took her hand and comforted her. Don't worry, we'll face it together. With all the preparations we've made, we're sure to find the artifact smoothly. Mia also nodded firmly and said, I'll protect everyone. I can communicate with animals even better now, and they'll help us. Sammy seemed to understand what everyone said and barked twice, as if expressing its determination. Fiona also flapped its wings in the cage and shouted loudly, Go on an adventure together! Go on an adventure together! Early the next morning, as the gentle sunlight shone into the room, the family, full of confidence and anticipation, stood in front of the time travel device. Mia held Sammy tightly, and Fiona perched on her shoulder, with excitement in its eyes. Jack and Martha looked at each other, their eyes expressing trust and support. As the device started up, the light flickered, accompanied by a soft hum, and so they once again embarked on the adventure of finding another artifact. They were about to travel back to ancient Greece to uncover the mysteries of the Parthenon. What kind of fantastic stories and thrilling challenges awaited them? Well, dear friends, that's where we'll conclude today's installment of the story. I truly hope you've been as captivated by it as I've been sharing it. If you've enjoyed this narrative so far, I'd be immensely grateful if you could show your support by hitting that like button. And here's a little tip for you to never miss out on the upcoming exciting chapters. Simply activate the subscription bell. In this way, you'll be promptly notified when I bring you the rest of this enthralling story tomorrow. So, stay tuned.